going camping. Don't trip. Good. This is perfect.
All right. Hey, I'm camping with Joe Robinet.
How are you guys doing? This is a new video. This is Scott. This is my new buddy Scott.
Joe.
We've met once before. Scott's a subscriber. Sent me an email. We live relatively close to each other. Wanting to get out camping. So we met up for a beer the other night. Hit it off.
Couple.
Yeah, one or two, you know. Hit it off and decided to go camping. So tonight we're going to spend the night in a snow trekker canvas tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, be cool. So it'll be the first time I'm using this one this year. And yeah, it should be good. Let's get it started. So my tent has an 8x10 footprint. Our plan is to put it right here facing the sun, with the door facing the sun. So I'm just kind of clearing away a little bit of the sticks at first. It's not really that necessary because the bottom is open. There's no bottom on the tent. But just yeah, just getting a couple things out of the way. We're going to set up here. It's very easy to set up. It's very comprehensive. I really like this tent. All right, Scott. So what we got here is a snow trekker tent. I cannot remember the exact model for the life of me. It's 8x10. Maybe I'll put it on the bottom of the screen.
There we go. We'll look it up.
So I've got it in a stuff sack. This is a 35-liter stuff sack. It did not come with this, but it fits into it well, and I like it. I think that it's about 12 pounds. I thought I read 15, but it doesn't feel quite
lighter.
Yeah, right. You were holding it before. So this is a. Teamwork! Alright. Yeah, let's lay this out.
So clean.
It's pretty clean. So right. Maybe go walk back there. And this is the front. There we go. So there should be like a little thing on the top. Pull that like maybe back towards that tree there. Yeah, because that'll be the very back. Okay, perfect. So you guys have seen in the past, I've used like a pyramid, like a teepee style canvas tent, and that's pretty cool. I think I was telling you about it too. Yeah. But the downfall was that the pole was in the middle, and the stove goes in the middle as well, and then you lose this whole big space. Like basically, the middle, obviously the middle of your tent, right? So you're losing walking space. If you have your dog with you, it's kind of sketchy. You don't want them to brush up against it or whatever. So this uses poles as like that you bring in, as opposed to a pole that you cut yourself.
Considering all the gear, actually, I was shocked at how light it was.
Yeah, me too. And then, like, think about it. We're carrying this in, hand bombing this, but in the wintertime, you know, we're on sleds.
Yeah, no, I'm shocked when you said what it was and how heavy it was. I was expecting it to be much bigger and heavy. So the poles are relatively easy to understand. Basically, there's one pole that has two open ends. See, this one's open, this one's closed. So you know this one is going to be on the ground. All the ones with the closed ends, the closed end goes on the ground. One closed, one open. Again, oops. So the one that has two open ends, you know is going to be a cross piece because it has to connect to the legs that you're making, and then it goes into these. So it's got two short ones and then a long one. It's like a Y, two short branches and the long one. The long one goes across to keep it across, basically. Stick with me, boys and girls. So there is our, nope, there's our cross piece there. And it's a bit shorter than the others, if I'm not mistaken. It is. So we're gonna grab two poles, and yep, and then throw them on here. Put on the two shorter spots, the open end. Does that make sense? Yep.
Nice. Kind of just saying words.
Somehow I understood that.
Nice. There you go. Okay. Now,
that's the cross section.
yeah. So maybe you go up there.
That one's got a butt end.
You're joking.
I'm serious.
Oh, come on! Damn it! Nothing? There we go.
Like I said, stick with me, boys and girls. There we go.
Hey. That's why everybody loves it, Joe. No, no editing there.
Oh man.
Good.
Oh come on. Heavy editing. Heavy editing on this one. Okay, we're doing this for the first time.
Oh,
There's a butt end on there. All right, so that's as easy as that is, even though it took me a little bit. So you can really see the size of it now, and it gets a little bit more taut, but that's a good, decent size. Get this on. Yeah, let's take it outside here, and basically just drape it over the top. And really, remember that thing I told you to look for? That just want that to go in the top corner, basically.
Yeah. Now this is that the snow pipe? Or that's just a vent?
That's just like a van.
Oh, okay.
Just gonna stay up there. This is a stove pipe here in the
Oh,
horn.
okay.
So I'm gonna go over the top. Oh, this is so much easier with two people. And then in the bottom corner is just tuck it in. There's like a little heavy duty part. There you go. It's looking pretty good already, eh?
Absolutely. You know what? That was really easy to do.
Oh, very easy. Yeah, it's you take up, set down, or set up, take down 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then we just gotta make it
Hey,
taut.
it's light.
It's light.
Very light. If you want to see Joe in action putting this together, I've been trying to videotape him, filming himself, do this and see how he works. I've always been fascinated about how he records his footage, so I've been recording him, recording his video. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here watching him do it, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, Scott. So Scott's doing this on the other side. But basically it's super easy, right? You got these two sleeves, and you've got your pole, and the pole goes apart in the middle. Got an elastic on it. You slide it through, then you've got this little like leather with a grommet in it, and your tie-out attached. All you're doing, you're sliding that on there in the middle, pushing it through, and now you can make it super taut. We do have to go around and cut some stakes to stake out, but that doesn't have to happen right now. This support stick goes from the top grommet down to the bottom. There's a grommet there as well, and then now you have almost pretty good walls by doing that. You can see here's a skirt on the bottom, and in the wintertime when there's snow, I'll be definitely burying it under the snow, but I believe now because there's no snow, we're just going to tuck it under. No rain or anything like that can pool into it. Okay, we just got to cut some stakes, stake this bad boy out.
Yeah, we're going to be staking this up with some branches on the ground.
Alright, going in, Scott. Check out this bad boy.
Oops.
Breaking my
I
stuff.
hope that's not a sign of things to come.
Take a guy out, man.
Alright.
Not bad, eh? It's alright, eh?
It's awesome.
Pretty tall.
It is.
I don't know why I zipped that up. It's not very cold.
Very nice.
Yeah, so the stove will go right here. We'll clear away the leaves on the ground because the residual heat from the stove will catch the leaves on fire. But we won't let that happen.
I wondered, Joe, if you could do this without the frame. Like, is this why these are here?
I thought that of that too when I saw it, maybe, because if you got it taut enough, I don't see why not, really. But
I mean, the frame's pretty light.
the frame's pretty awesome too. Yeah, I think you could. I really don't know. I used to have a pyramid tent, not this kind of tent, but a different one that had a thing at the top where you could tie it up. Same idea. So just tying the door open, tying both those doors open, we get light in there. It'll be easy to put our stuff in there, clean it out, and see. So I'm sure some of you guys will remember a few years ago, I had another snow trucker. It was the first one I got from Buddy Cliff. Thank you again a whole lot for that. but that one was like a 12 by 16 if I'm not mistaken, so this is much more manageable size for going on extended trips and stuff. The other one was awesome, but it was more of a base camp, and I believe actually that was the model name, was the base camp. Yeah, let's get this wood stove set up. Because it's so cold, right? You know what? That wood stove's actually hot from the sitting in the sun. Okay, so we got the Trekker model wood stove. It's one of the smaller ones, but it will be plenty for this tent. You can see it's got to sit kind of out a bit. We'll figure out the best situation for it. Find out how it's best situated. Cool thing about this is that all of the components fit inside of the stove to store it with, to move around with. So, your piping, your spark arrestor, or my spark arrestor, not yours, my flue, my elbow piece. Inside here there's fire bricks because you're not supposed to really have the fire right on the box, on the bottom of the box, because it will warp it. But I'm actually going to be getting from Canadian Outdoor Equipment very soon a false bottom that I can put on there with holes, so I don't have to put the bricks, because the bricks are a pain in the butt when you want to clean out the ashes. If I'm having firewood, like a campfire outside, I would cut them even smaller than this. Right. So I feel like it's a decent length to get them in. So you are actually able to switch this up depending on setups, because sometimes things are different, like the way you have to set things up are different. So you can actually use the piece with the, what is damper, not flue, damper first, or you can use the elbow piece first, depending on the situation. But it looks to me like we're going to be using this piece first. There's like corrugated parts where we want to try to match up. Yeah, see, this is much better already. Actually, I can move this, the elbow piece moves independently. That goes there. I believe this would be the next piece. We can put this on the other side.
Right.
That takes up a little less room. That's not so bad. Yeah, that's not so bad. Okay, we'll do that. Now we got to go outside and make a tripod, because the rest of this will not stay up by itself, and I don't want to leave it hanging and putting pressure on the rest of it. So go make a small tripod. Okay, well, we got this all set up. I feel like something's not right here. I feel like it shouldn't be getting this big at the end, but for some reason I had this set up at my house. I just took it down today. It did not look like this, but this is how it is now. So we're gonna camp like this. Figure it out later. It'll still work fine. It just looks a little weird to me, and I'm sure if I just played it off like it was good to me, somebody in watching this would know and call me out on it. So we're going to put it all out in the open. It'll still work. It'll still work. Right? Well, that's all squared away. Our next duty is to get some firewood. I said duty. I have a tomahawk. Scott's got a folding saw, and I've also got a full-size axe in my pack. You bring an axe too? Yeah. A hatchet. So we got some tools. Let's go collect some firewood. There's lots of down stuff, lots of solid oak around and stuff like that. So it won't be an issue to get a lot of firewood. Like this, right here. Boom. Firewood.
Oh, Scott's busting my chops already. We're gonna be just fine, friends.
All right, so here we got a piece of oak. It's somewhat deteriorated, but like you've heard me say probably 100 times, the outside of the oak doesn't really matter. It's what's on the inside that counts, you know? So I just got my little cold steel trail hawk. We're gonna take some turns throwing it later on, but until then, let's actually use it for some firewood prep. See, look at that. Oh yeah, it's just solid inside. It's a bit bouncy. This isn't like using an axe on a solid piece of wood. There we go.
There's so much stuff that can just break up.
What's that?
There's so much wood we can just break up.
Yeah. So Scott and I are both from Southern Ontario here, and we were talking about how growing up here you're always wanting to get up north, right, and go to the real woods, the boreal forest, and the Canadian Shield and stuff. But there's always something about coming back down here, about the Carolinian forest, about the hardwoods, about how flat it is, about the soil. It's just home, and I like it just as much now, just as much as up north. Which, if you would have asked me that before, earlier on in life, it would have been a different story. So we got this hardwood anyway. That's my point. Down here, lots and lots of hardwoods, way more than up north. So this is some kind of fruit wood. It's a little bit decayed, but it'll still be pretty good. I got the old grandma's axe out with me this time. The wood is nice and orangey. Very pretty.
Am I too tall for your...
You're too tall for me.
You know what I mean? Am I out of your shot?
You're like a giant. No, you're good.
Okay.
Look way up.
Way up. All right, buddy.
We were talking about our knives, kind of showing each other our knives, and we were thinking, oh, why don't we show the folks at home, you know?
Absolutely.
The folks at home.
Because I knew Joe had a knife or two. So.
One or two. I do have a knife, yes. So why don't we look at yours first?
All right, mine's a Bark River Bravo.
It is.
I wanted Joe's opinion on if he approved of it or not.
I like it a lot. What I like, you shouldn't worry about my opinion. What I like about it a lot is the convex and the blade shape. Let me get this real quick on here. See that? It's a real convex. There's no like micro bevel or anything like that. And look at the size of the blade. What do you think that is? Like a? It's a quarter inch thick for sure, but like 5 inches?
Yeah.
5 inch blade.
Yeah.
It's a nice knife. The only thing I really don't like, if I'm being honest with you, is this exposed lanyard loop, because sometimes I like to use my hand to split or whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously, you could use a piece of wood instead and just hit it, and that would hold up better than hitting the handle.
Right.
I like it. I like it a lot. Look at that balance. Look at that balance. Nice.
Yeah, I like the thumbnail. I'm sure there's a specific term for it, but I like being able to grip it there.
Jimping.
Jimping?
Yep.
There you go.
Jimping.
So yeah, but I do like the comfort of that. For me, it works this way as well, because when they described this knife, the intention of that was to have your thumb like that.
Oh, on top.
That's what they say. Yeah,
Okay.
to be able to do some. But I love it this way, using it like that. And I don't know. It's just comfortable for me. It works. And then for the fire steel, I love using those gnarled edges to be able to do that.
Right.
You know, it works for me.
Should really put a lanyard on that fire steel.
Well, you know what? It has a nice little case here, so I never lose it, right?
Oh, I see. This guy over here.
Can't be without your fire steel.
Oh, okay. We're never camping again. So what I have. So this is mine. This is the Joe Robinet knife, which
Griffin is my son. Griff. I'm with Joe Robinet. He's a big fan. My son can't believe that I'm actually on a trip with Joe, let alone talking about knives with him, right? So this is very cool.
Well, maybe we'll have to hook them up.
We might have to get Griffey out on a trip. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's from a company called Weber Handmade, or it's a gentleman named Weber Handmade. I don't know.
It's got your emblem on it.
It has my emblem,
Very cool.
yes.
Have people seen it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah? Very cool.
I don't know if that knife is actually happening now, guys. I'm sorry. I haven't had any communication with the maker in a long time, so we shall see. But if not, another knife will be in the works.
Mike Carta?
Micarta? Yeah, I like Micarta a lot. I like G10 and Micarta. This is Micarta. It has a little bit more grip to it than the G10.
Yeah.
I like wood, too.
Solid.
I like wood, too, but the Micarta's pretty nice. So that's like my idea of a all-around bushcraft knife. You have a comfortable handle and a stout blade. You know, that blade's not going to break at all. There's no fine tip on it, and it's a nice Scandi, so it has a lot of meat behind the edge.
No, very nice. So you have a couple.
Yeah, I got
you
one
don't just have you don't just have this one.
I have this one too. So this
What do
is
you got?
the other end of the spectrum. This is a Deering woodchuck. So that's a convex like yours.
Okay.
See how it goes all the way down there, eh?
Yes.
And then
from the top.
right,
Yeah,
and
just
that's
like mine.
thin. That's like a
Yeah, it's a little thinner. Yeah,
1/8
definitely.
or 5/32.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the pins on the side, it's all jet black, right? He put the jet black pins on it, so it
Nice.
kind of all matches.
Yeah, you can barely see them.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. That's my newest knife.
Liners?
Yeah, the floating liners too. So those are black liners, white liners, and then
yeah,
scales. Pretty cool. Eh?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that one. That's my newest knife. I like that one a lot. I'm still learning it. Knife Talk with Joe and Scott.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. I got
So-
a lot to learn. I got to work on my collection.
I gotta figure out which one I'm gonna put on my belt.
It's a tough decision.
It is a tough decision. Just grown as children in the woods. Well, Scott's out there collecting some firewood. I'm going to set up my sleeping gear in here, and then we'll switch out, just so we're not kind of trampling over each other in here. I've got a -7-degree sleeping bag. It's only going to get down to right around 0 tonight, so having the fire going all night in the wood stove is not a necessity. Oh look, 2 pillows, balling out of control. Probably won't stoke the fire after we fall asleep. I know I'm not. So if Scott wants to, that's up to him. So I got a small rubberized tarp on the ground just for basically staying off the mud. Once that wood stove starts kicking, it starts getting warm in here, it's going to get pretty muddy. So we got that. I got my Reflectix to keep my my sleeping pad pretty clean. Yeah, we'll be golden. This will be a very comfortable night. All right, perfect fit on the back there. And I'll just put my Reflectix up near the head where I don't have any coverage. That looks good to me. And 2 pillows. Look at that. Balling.
All right, Joe's got his stuff set up. He's left me a little bit of room.
Such a nice guy I am.
Nothing, say. Pile of leaves here and everything else.
I thought you could use it as a pillow, you know.
So this is Joe's stuff is set up back there. He's got his kit. This is mine.
What kind of sleeping pad
I
are you
got
using?
an X-Ped Sin Mat, it's called.
Well, that's a nice one.
Right there. So it's a 9. So it's a little longer. I mean, there's different sizes of them. But this one's got some insulation as well. So it's got some down stuff in it. I got, what I'm using for a ground sheet is my footprint from my MSR Hubba Hubba.
That's your gray part there. That's
Yeah.
not part of the pad. Oh, okay, I got you. Yep.
So I just wrapped it in there just for the ease of it all.
Perfect.
So that works so well. So that's my footprint. And this pad, this is usually Griff's job, right, or one of my kids. I try to let them do it, but it's got a little pump in it. I don't know, have you seen these before?
I have a different X pad, but I don't have the pump in it. No.
Yeah, this one's got a little pump, which is cool because I think this would take a while to blow up if you had to blow it up using your lungs, right?
Right.
So there's a sponge in here. You see it, and you got to let it fill up a little bit. So once there's a 2-way valve in there, so you just put your hand over like that, and it pumps up.
That's pretty cool.
It is actually, yeah. So you just do this.
And you practice your CPR at the same time.
Exactly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and breathe.
Is that sleeping bag you have next to you? Is that a Phantom? Is it a
Mountain Hardware.
red?
Yeah.
I have the same one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's what the heck is it called?
It's a Phantom.
Is it a Phantom?
Yeah.
Okay, I do have the same one.
Minus 2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bought it this year.
Oh, I mean, look how.
I love it. I know. I love mine.
I mean, this was my big purchase this year, where
It's not cheap.
I had a synthetic. I had my original sleeping bag, which was fantastic. I literally bought it I mean, when I was 20. Like, I'm 46 now, so I mean, it's a warm sleeping bag, still works great, but it doesn't compress really small, right? So some of the trips I was doing, it's not going to work for what I wanted. So you start, I mean, you just got to research them, and this is, I think, the smallest bag you can get for -2.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a great bag, and it's rated perfectly too. It's not like a wrong rating.
No, you know what? That's a good point, because we went to Bruce Trail on Easter weekend this year, and I told my kids have 0 sleeping bags, like as in 0 temperature. And so I told them, I was like, oh, look at the weather. I'm like, you guys will be fine. You know, it's not going to get below freezing. So, so one morning we wake up. I mean, it was a gorgeous morning. There wasn't a ripple in Georgian Bay. We backpacked to Stormhaven. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yep.
So we're on the platforms of Stormhaven, and I wake up and I go out to the water, and I can see the puddles on the water are frozen solid.
No.
Right? Now I was fine because it was obviously this was a -2, but my children were too happy.
Moral of the story: screw the kids as long as you're warm.
That was warm.
No, but yeah, that sleeping bag, I would recommend that to anyone. That is a fantastic sleeping bag. Well worth the money. Like you're saying, it is an investment, but you're going to have that. Like you said, you had your last one for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not something you have to replace next year.
No, and it's the down on it is treated as well.
Yes.
So if it gets a little damp or whatever, it's meant to handle that.
Right.
There's not too many dead trees in this wood, but we found a nice dead oak right here. So we're going to take some practice shots with the old tomahawk.
Oh, had it.
The handle hit the bottom and kind of knocked her out.
Yeah. See, I think I've done it once, and now I won't be able to do it again. Got her in.
You got her. Show me up. Oh, nice.
Sorry, Crush.
A little cross piece.
It's a cool little toy.
It is fun, and they're actually pretty good for actual tool. I swear that was me that threw that one. I promise.
You gotta get one. You gotta get one on camera so you people believe me, right?
Hold on, let me try this.
No. Oh. Okay, I'll just have to do it again.
Now you gotta do it again.
You ready?
Oh,
You're right. I was putting too much oomph into it.
yeah, that was good, boy. Right. Yep, of course.
I'm done.
He's getting pissed off just like me. I gotta get it. Damn it! It gets worse every time, eh? Okay, I have to take this away from Scott. He sunk it. Game over. Boom. Alright.
Alright, can we cut wood now?
I think we need some firewood, buddy.
Gonna get this fire going, and we're just gonna use some grass. So we grabbed this grass standing, not just laying on the ground, nice and dry. I broke it up, made a little bird's nest. After that goes, I'm gonna try to stick that in there, throw this grass on top of it without getting burned up too bad. So, well, that went pretty good. Normally, let's put it out and try it again. Normally, when I'm striking stuff, you guys see me plant it in and go like that. But with grass, it's not even that necessary, really. See what I mean? So you always want to flip upside down. Get that in there before it goes up too much. You always want to flip it upside down so that it has somewhere to grow, right? Because if it's staying burning end on top, it has nothing else to catch on fire. Got all of our prep ready to go. Gotta make sure our flue's open. Look at that. Our damper's open. Get smoked out in her. Scott was nice enough to bring some venison tenderloin out for us, and we don't want to waste it by cooking it in a frying pan in the stove. So we're gonna build a fire out here. We just cleared away the leaves from the immediate area. We're gonna build a fire out here and cook our food out here, at least that portion of it. As yeah, fire grilled stuff is always a little bit more tasty than fried.
Make a little platform. Some
But yeah, I like the way you do that. I know it seems straightforward, but you set that up.
Yeah, it's no, not at all. Yeah, you get the best of both worlds. You get your fire up off the wet ground so it doesn't smoke as long, and then you build this coal base along the bottom too. It's especially for cooking. It's a good way to do it. Wow. Grass for the win. And then these garlic mustard too. Look at that.
Take long?
No. I don't really need a brace with that one. Okay. Venison, here we come. Last time I ate venison, I think it was with Sean, and we were up north building something on his property, a big lean-to on his property, and he brought a deer backbone, and we... You should have seen his face. Yes, I was the same.
How'd you like it?
Oh, it was not great. But I was like, oh yeah. It wasn't bad. Actually, we left it hanging over the fire for like hours, like all throughout the day, and everything got so smoky, and then we just picked it. It was okay.
You know what? I gotta get my hair tight. Like years ago, I've been deer hunting for a while, and we used to bring our stuff to the butcher, and they used to cut like beef, right?
Right.
Pork or chops or steaks and whatever else with the bone and the fat in it. The tallow from venison ruins the taste,
Really?
in my opinion.
Okay.
I do not like the taste of it. So once I got into deer hunting years ago, me and my buddy Bill, we just decided we would debone it ourselves.
Really?
So yeah, none of the venison that I use has any fat in it or the bone, because it's not like beef where it gives it a flavor.
It takes
Kind
away
of
from
takes
it.
away from
Right.
it. In my opinion, it takes away from it. So that's why it's for me. It's tenderloin, stews, and stuff like that. I don't do chops. I think I saw Sean cooking ribs,
Yeah,
venison ribs.
for sure.
I don't know what those tasted like.
They were okay. I
they're
think I had them too. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not. The tenderloins they're awesome.
Where it's at.
You're gonna love them.
Yeah, I can't wait. You should have seen, dude. After we cooked that backbone, we broke it,
Yeah.
and the spinal cord, it came out as like this like solidified gel. It was so messed up, man. And like we're just thinking, like,
Oh, no.
you know, for centuries people have eaten that. Like
Yeah.
no doubt in my mind. You know, they indigenous will be eating the eyeballs and everything.
Absolutely.
Just
But
pulling that thing out and
oh man,
going to town.
No, that's not for me. You know what's funny is now at a restaurant, a big like fancy meal is bone marrow.
Yeah, they pour it
They
on.
slice the bone in
bone.
half, roast it, and they'll give it to you. I've had it. It's actually pretty good, but it's kind of gross when you think about it, right?
I don't think that.
But honestly, I don't know if this is the venison. Sucks, like with the chops and with the fat. People fry it up. It's disgusting. I'm sorry.
What
I
about,
love
like,
deer hunting and want to love it, but it's not good.
Right. What about like pepperettes? You ever get those made?
I make those up.
Yeah, that would be my favorite.
Yeah, because you gotta mix it with pork.
Oh.
Yeah, people are mixing. You're mixing it with pork, pepperettes and sausages, venison sausages. I used to make them all the time. They were awesome, but you got to cut it with pork.
Well,
It's too dry.
okay.
Because venison's very dry.
Okay.
So you need fat in it, right?
Right.
So you get some pork shoulder, then you take it to the butcher, and it's like half pork, half venison.
Oh, dude, I know nothing about this. That's cool. I like. Very soon, in the very near future, next year I'm gonna get deer. Next year I'm gonna have my license. I said this for 2 years now.
Hey, not only should you get it, but with your connections, people are gonna be begging you to go hunting.
Yeah, I've had a lot of offers.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part where you gotta be taking advantage of that. 'cause
Right. Well, we're a couple of hard-working men, you know, in the woods.
Absolutely. We've earned this today.
We have, I
Are you
think.
kidding me?
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Oh, nice.
You have to try this.
What you got there, man?
It's called yuza. It's a Japanese fruit inside the IPA.
Really?
It's, dude, I know it sounds weird, but it's probably one of the best beers I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Isn't it tasty?
It is.
Is that a good wow?
No, it's good. No, it
Yeah?
is. Yeah.
It's good, eh? I'm a
Never
fan.
heard of it.
No, me either. Yuza Pale Ale, and it's from Radical Roads, which is from Toronto.
I'm going with a Walkerville Geronimo IPA, which is a local brewery. Can't go wrong. Windsor, Ontario.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. Well earned, buddy.
Yeah.
I can't believe I only brought one beer.
It's lies. You know they're
Are
open.
you kidding me? Coming out with Joe? I'm prepared, man.
Is this what the world thinks of me?
It broke my back getting here.
All the beers? It's a good thing we both have good taste in beer, right?
Absolutely.
Not drinking that Bud Light nonsense.
My wife is like, "Don't you need more gear?" I'm like, "I don't have room. I just gotta have the beer."
Screw the gear, we need the beer.
Exactly. Oh, it's been a fun night, buddy. I'm glad we were able to pull this off.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this has been great.
Looking forward to the food and sitting in the warm
Food.
tent.
Yeah.
The tent is nice and warm right now. We got the thing cranked, so.
And I'm going to be talking to Joe, get him committed with some beers over some bike packing trips that we're going to do.
Sounds so fun, dude.
It was. You got to see, did we talk about that already?
No, go
Did we
ahead.
talk about Joe bike packing?
Go ahead.
I've gone on a bike packing trip, and we were at our house today, at my house today. And
You can't
Joe,
just skim by the bike packing trip. What's the duration of your bike packing trip?
it was a 7-day, 500-kilometer bike pack.
500-kilometer bike packing trip. Okay, that's an important part of the story.
And Joe's all over that.
I am.
He says he's ready to go like right now.
Nah.
So, anyways, yeah, it was through right up your alley. We went through Central Ontario. It's called the Central Ontario Loop Trail. That's what it's referred to, or as the Colt. People call it the Colt. And it's online. A lot of people have had some interest in it. So, anyways, me and a couple buddies did that late September. And basically, Lake Ontario, almost to Algonquin Park and back, through ATV trails and camping on Crown land and some private parks. But it was awesome.
Right. It sounds like an adventure.
Yeah, it was great. And so we did that on a fat bike, which has got the balloon tires that are 4.5 inches thick, or wide, I should say. And
That's crazy.
so they're pretty fun. They're a new thing right now. A lot of people, they're kind of just coming out for the last couple of years. Joe was at my house riding it, and I got some footage of him shredding the trails near my place with my
Gnarly!
dogs. And so if you want to see Joe riding his bike, my bike, and running through the trails with my dogs, it's some pretty cool footage. And Joe hamming it up for the camera like he does, right?
You're gonna put that on your video.
That'll be on my video, yeah. So, if you want to, if you're watching this and you want to see that, click over to mine.
Yeah, I'll link it
you'll
below.
check that. Yeah, completely all over the ice with this trip.
That's all right. We'll join the party.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, Scott was nice enough to bring that venison. You know, not like bringing potatoes or anything, but we're all doing our part. So I got some potato, onion, garlic, and butter, and I'll probably throw some keg spice on it too. And we're gonna do the little hobo dinners. Wrap it up in tin foil, and they'll probably go on for 25 minutes, maybe half an hour. Throw them on before the venison. I imagine the venison won't take too long.
No. 10 minutes.
Is it like steak where you don't have to cook it all the way through?
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely.
Perfect.
So anyway, eat it, buddy.
Yeah. Raw and wriggling.
Yeah.
What's taters precious? You get it? You get it? Scott's a Lord of the Rings fan too, it seems.
We've been drinking beer and talking and having a hell of a time. But the potatoes are done, and garlic, and whatever else is in there. And now it's time for some.
What did you season those with?
These are a little bit. I gotta give props to my buddy Bill. He's my chef.
Shout out, Bill.
Shout out for Bill. This is balsamic vinegar and oil with some Montreal steak spice. Simple enough, but I would not be doing this if it wasn't for Bill.
Well, thank you, Bill. That was pretty cool. Scott was telling me he harvested this deer right on this property. When was that? This year or last year?
Last fall.
Last fall.
Yeah, last December, actually.
Nice. So, yeah, it's kind of fitting.
Here we are. Look at these fries.
You're gonna go. This is smart call.
We are starving.
That's true.
One thing about this is talking all night, but we forgot about the food.
We gotta eat.
You gotta eat.
Oh, buddy. Look at that.
Take.
Num and num.
You got lots. Take another one.
You see the size of me? All right. Well, that's enough.
Can't be having you going hungry.
No, I guess not. All right. Nummy nums. For the beer too. First bite of venison. Oh wow.
Legit, buddy. It's okay, because it's usually pretty awesome.
That is tender. Very good, man.
Yeah?
Sure. You know you gotta crack another beer with the supper time. Cheers.
Oh, hope. Did you get a good one? Like, look at that.
I believe so. I can't really. Can't see. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Very much so.
Shut the front door. That's all.
Shut the front door. Yeah. Let it bleed all over my potatoes. Very good. All right. Well, I'm gonna sit here and smack my lips, so I'm not gonna shut my camera off. Get back with you guys after.
Yeah, rip take two. Yeah, we're just sitting outside by the fire here, throwing wood on it and shivering. If only there was a warm place. If only there was a hot place we could go into. Derp to derp. Let's go to the tent.
Oh! So we've been out there for a few hours. I stoked this one time, and she is good to go. Got the damper closed while we were out there, just warming this place up. I pre-burned the stove before we came because this is a new stove, just so we don't have to worry about sitting in here with the fumes. But we didn't have to worry about that anyway. The company Snow Trekker I got this from is an American company. It's a family-owned company. So a big shout out to those guys. Thanks for hooking it up with this awesome tent. Lots more use to come out of this thing in the winter. What do you think about it?
I'm impressed.
I know, right?
Honestly.
Yeah, it's
Man, how small it was. Light to get in here, and then coming in here when we were freezing outside.
And how tall are you? 6'2"?
I'm 6'2", and I can almost stand up.
That's pretty decent.
And yeah, it is, because I mean, you gotta realize I'm used to backpacking tents, right? My MSR tents, and getting dressed and getting comfortable in those is tough, right? So to be able to have this and the wood stove in here, it's just nice. This
Getting
is really
spoiled,
nice.
eh?
Absolutely.
We're just talking about Scott's wife was kind of giving him a little bit of grief for coming out to camp with somebody he met on the internet, right? And I'm thinking, I was about to tell him, I said, man, maybe I'll tell him on the camera. My wife was the same way, and my mom, back in the day when I first started on Bushcraft USA, and I was telling you I flew out to Missouri and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm this like little skinny white Canadian, young, like maybe 22, no, not maybe 25, but like, you know, I'm gonna go fly out to Missouri to hang out with all these American dudes in the woods, and like, let alone my mom, like, okay, whatever, mom, it's just what it is. I go through customs to come through, and they ask me, like, I'm driving through to fly to the states and the border, and they're like, where are you going and why? And I tell them, and they're like, like, how do you know these people? And this is before, like, the internet was huge in the forum, you know what I mean? And they're like,
some serious red flags.
oh, big red flag. And they're like,
man.
And the only thing that saved me, this officer, this border guard next to the one I was talking to, was like, yeah, I'm on a to the guy I was talking to, or he's like, yeah, I'm on a motorcycle forum, we go meet up all the time or whatever. And then so like the guard was like, oh, okay, it's kind of normal.
No kidding,
so, thank you. Like, another time I'm going through, and I got all my stuff out, and I have an axe, and I want to make it seen. I don't want to try and hide it. I want to make it out plain view so that they see it, and like it doesn't seem like I'm trying to bring a weapon or something.
Right.
So it's a lady, on the just in the booth. Don't pull me in. And she's talking to me, and I tell her what we're doing and what we're into, and she's like, oh, yeah, I bought a bunch of tuna cans just for, like, survival, you know, just to have some, like, more about prepping and stuff. So she kind of understood a little bit. Yeah. And she goes, but I don't know if you can bring that axe over. I don't think. I was like, no, I do it all the time. It's okay. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. Have a good day.
If you say so.
Right? That's exactly what it was. I'm just like, thanks. Like, and it is legit. You can, for sure. Yeah. It's not anything wrong, but it was just funny that she believed me. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah.
Like you would know better than her.
Well, of course.
It's kind of her job, right?
No, don't you worry. I go camping. Yeah, it's more normal these days, I'd say, meeting up with someone with like-minded interests, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do agree. It is bizarre. It's, you know what I mean? Because it's not, there's a part that's not normal about it.
For sure.
But I had the luxury, I don't know if this is recording here.
We're live.
Yeah. I had the luxury of having a good idea what you were like, because I got to watch your videos.
Right.
and you come across very honestly in your videos, especially if you're a fan. Like I've been watching yours for a while. So going into it, I've been like, I can contact Joe because I know what to expect. I don't think he's faking it that well after these hundreds of videos, right? I don't know if he's that good of an actor.
Well,
So for me, it was fairly easy to give you a shout out or whatever and track you down. But I mean, if I were you, I don't know. I'm like, you know what I mean? That's the challenge from your end, from your part of view, right?
well, I think, like I was saying to you earlier, I think I get literally, if we're just going by emails, let's not count comments and stuff. I'm gonna say I get 30 emails a day.
Yeah.
Some are nonsense through like partnership through YouTube and stuff, but a lot are people saying they want to meet up.
Right.
And if I'm being honest, it's hard to agree to that, especially because a lot of people are far away, and it's just the logistics of it is crazy. But the way that people type, the way that people come across matters to me. I can tell if you're sincere or a normal person. And when I got your email, it seemed like you were a normal person.
Totally fooled him.
and if I'm being completely honest, when I go and I can check out your YouTube videos as well, it kind of gives me a sense of like, okay, this dude's legit. He just wants to be out there and camp as well, and he's got, so it gives me a gauge as well. So in all honesty, I did go and look at your YouTube videos before I replied to you. But
I noticed I only had the 2 views, so I knew one of you had to be you, right?
I do what I can,
Thanks, man. It doubled. My viewership doubled with your response.
But I have to. I
you
can't
have
just
to,
go out. I mean, there's some
Absolutely.
crazy stuff going on in the world, and I got a family and stuff, man. You know what I mean?
And you see me with my kids
right,
and everything else.
exactly,
Right? So,
yes.
mine obviously come across as, okay, this guy's a family guy as well.
Of course.
Right? So,
And what's crazy after, I didn't even really realize it when I first, because I just glanced at your videos after we were talking really quick.
Yeah.
But I went back after we were talking, and I had watched one of your Algonquin videos with your son when you were catching those crazy brook trout.
with Griff in May.
So before I went on my fall one with Doug,
Right.
I was trying to like just scour for fishing videos and stuff from Algonquin.
Oh, yeah.
Came across that and watched it. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that was an awesome trip. That's kind of funny. So you get to see who you're dealing with too, right? So that was
Right.
cool. And that's how we're probably literally 10-15 minutes away from
Yeah,
each
we're not
other.
far.
So
that's a huge part to it too.
yeah, we
honestly.
could meet at your local hangout there,
Right.
in Craft Heads, and I walked in, and Normie there knows everybody, and it's all good.
Only 3% will get that reference.
Yeah, exactly. It's starting to get less and less, isn't it? The Cheers reference.
The Cheers references, yeah. Cheers is
Yeah, I know. I'm so it's showing my age every time I throw those out there, right?
It's like 11 o'clock at night, just been talking up a storm, telling some lies around the fire here. Beers went down real nice, and sleep is going to be even nicer. Good night, Scotty boy.
Night, Joe. It's been fun, buddy.
Yes. Get with you in the morning. Well, we're awake. How did you sleep, Scott?
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah, me too. So it's 8:30 now. Mr. Goose flew overhead and woke us up about an hour ago. We've just been laying here. It's not too cold, eh?
No.
I slept pretty warm. Right now, it's not too bad. So I think we're going to do some pancakes. You up for some pancakes?
Absolutely. If you're making them,
I am.
fantastic.
You going to light the fire?
All right.
Pancakes for this morning, as promised. We got some pancake mix already made up. This is the just add water kind. And I added a little bit of Reese's peanut butter cup chocolate chips in there.
Nice.
Yeah. So that'll be a little tasty treat. I'm gonna do it all up. This will make 6 or 7.
And we're gonna do it up on the stove, right?
Yeah, on
You got
top of the
a fry
stove.
pan?
Yep.
I'm gonna get Joe flipping these pancakes because he's so good at it. He doesn't even bother bringing the spatula.
You don't even need a spatula, right? Exactly. What do we look like over here?
It's circus breakfast today. We're gonna be flipping them up good.
Now that we got a good bed of coals in there and that's raging up, I'm going to close the door. I'm going to close the damper so that way I get a lot more heat coming off the top of my stove rather than just getting pushed right out the stovepipe. So we're going to cook with the frying pan right there. Melt. Alright, let's try and do this properly, Joe. Make a good first pancake impression. You know, I can't camp with someone who can't flip a pancake. So
Oh boy, you're going big too.
oh yeah,
Big
like,
pancake
gotta make
is-
2 big ones.
Yeah, no guts, no glory.
No guys, yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an actual cake in a pan. It's like a pancake.
All right, Joe. Big moment, buddy.
Think I can pull it
I
off?
think you can, man. I think you can.
Oh snap!
Hey! Not only did you do it, but look at that pancake.
Look at that pancake. That's right. That's what I like to hear.
perfect.
Look at that. All right, folks. That's the second one right there. Nice and pancakey. I'm gonna put some butter on that piece.
Syrup.
I dropped the ball. I took the time to put syrup in my little squeeze container for Scott and myself. Just enough, you know, just enough for 2. Just enough for 2. I forgot it in the car. How was your dry pancakes, Scott?
It was very buttery. Thank God you didn't forget that.
That's one thing we got.
Yeah, we got butter.
We got butter.
Well, we're just packing up now. It's raining pretty good, so I got the tent inside the, the camera inside the tent. We're gonna dump our ashes on top of the old fire pit from last night, and then douse it with water before we go. Those are the fire bricks in the bottom I was talking about.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
It's not pee.
It did sound like this a lot last night.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It had something to do with the beer. So we're kind of speeding up our procedures here to get out of here. Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, folks, I think we're gonna wrap this up here. She's raining pretty good. We're pretty much done anyway.
Yeah, accomplished everything.
Yeah. So I had a really good time. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, it was good. I'm sure we'll have more trips in the future together because yeah, we hit it off pretty good.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you. See you, buddy.
Thanks.